So thanks to topsport.com.au. We're doing the weekly Sydney racing preview, and I'm joined by pro punter Mark Rhoden. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, very well indeed, Mark. Thank you.
So third week of the Randwick Carnival, if you like. So the last of the Group 1s. We've got the couple of Group 1s tomorrow, including the all-age stakes. Been a pretty reasonable Randwick Carnival for you so far?
It has. Probably Rosehill was better, but I've managed to eke out wins on both days, which is good.
Yep.
And coming off we had a small losing day yesterday, but had a good day at on the Kinzo, the Randwick Kinzo on Wednesday. So hopefully I can carry that Randwick form into tomorrow.
Very good. Yeah, we might just have a look at the quaddie legs. So It starts with race 6, the JRA plate over the 2000. Shared Ambition is at the top of the market for Top Sport, $2.70 from Yulong Prince at 6, Night's Watch and Ocean X at 9, and Life Less Ordinary at $9.50. How does your market look at the moment?
It's a bit different. He's always had a rap on him, Shared Ambition. He was really good in Melbourne in the last spring when he first got to this country, and ever since then he's been, really hard in the market. In everything he's contested, he was in the market on what looked like a pretty bad setup in the Doncaster, and everyone's inclined to forgive that run, which I think is probably fair enough. But he's come up very short again here. I think drawn 15. I don't know where he goes except right back, because I don't think he's the sort of horse that really would appreciate being ridden forward. But we'll see. But yeah, his SP profile and the degree of hype around him has really held his price in the market. I think he's probably worth betting around here. Even though he's a terrible non-winner, Life Less Ordinary gets back to a much more suitable race here at the handicap conditions. He was totally unsuited last night when he was in the market in the race on the wet track at Rosehill. I think he'll be much better off here. Drawn 1 should get a soft run, and we're going to get a bit of a price to find out, especially considering he was favourite, I think, last time around $3.50. So with Shared Ambition taking up so much percentage here, it's pushing a few horses like him out. As I said, it won't be a massive bet because he does have that question mark on him, that being his ball winning strike rate. But he really does look to get his chance. He's run a lot of good races at weight for age level. He ran second to Happy Clapper in the Craven Plate last spring. There's no shortage of big ratings and big performances in his form. It's just a question of getting to the line first. I think he's a little bit of value. The one I would be looking at specking at massive odds is Norway, who was outclassed in the Randwick last time. Wasn't suited at all in that class, but I would expect him to go better back to this class, and his overseas figures put him right in the race. I just think I won't be losing on him. I'll be having a very small bet on him at over 20 to 1. There really are a stack of chances in this. Night's Watch is much better off here. Even Best of Days, although he looks to have shortened up a little bit, has he? Yeah. Graceful Glamour will lead. I think she really wants a hard track for her best, but she'll give a great side in front. I'm just looking at my market. I've got at least 8 or 9 of them that could win without surprising here. So I'm not going to get heavily involved, but I'll certainly be around Shared Ambition, and Life Less Ordinary will be a better price.
Yeah, so a few you mentioned. Life Less Ordinary $9.50, as we said. Best of Days $13. And I think you mentioned Norway as well, out at $26.
Yeah.
So
Norway would be a spec. There's a couple others in the market there that Yulong Prince, who I backed in the Doncaster at big odds. I thought he was really disappointing there, and his best run in Australia has been on the very heavy track. So I think $6 is unders him too. Ocean X gets up to a right trip and gets Tom Marquand on. I think it's well found at $8 too. So I really couldn't back anything at single figures in this race, aside from Life Less Ordinary, who's $9.50. So pretty close to that.
Yeah, right,
but I could find problems with all of the first 3 in the market.
Okay, so maybe a bit of value a little bit wider, which is always welcome.
Yes.
Race 7 is the Group 1, the all-aged over 1400. So a lot of the sprinters from the TJ coming into this.
Yep.
P Rada is the favourite and looks to have been backed as well. $4.20 with Top Sport at the moment from Bivouac at $5, Santana Lane at $5, and Dreamforce at $9. What's the order of your market?
It's pretty well exactly the same. Unfortunately, yep. My eyes lit up when I saw this field. It's a great race. Really, I was keen to get into it, but I've ended up very similar to the market. I've got Pirata and Santana Lane joint top picks. With Bivouac pretty well with them, and Tafani next best. Tafani was sensational on the TJ Smith. It's just whether this might be the end of the prep. That might have been the grand final for her. I'm not sure, but on what she did there, she's right in this. Bivouac was ridden to get to the fence, so he was dragged a long way back in the TJ, which was probably the right move on the day, but it's, he'll be much closer in the run here, up to 1400 from barrier 4, you would think. I think he's got a great chance. Pirata won this last year. Always a chance in these races, and Santana Lane keeps drawing inside, which probably isn't ideal for him, but he had the right run, but he was terrific again in the TJ, and he's a chance in this. I think Dreamforce really needs leader's advantage to win. His best runs in his last 2 preps have come on heavily biased tracks. I suppose with the Railroad 7, there's a chance that could happen, and a little bit of a southerly 2 forecast. Not a strong one, but a bit of one. If the track is playing mad leaders, he comes into it. If it's not, I think they'll get past him. I thought Fierce Impact had a little chance. I was probably better at 1600, but yeah, it's a really good race. But unfortunately, I can't really find a way through the early market. I think they've got it pretty right.
Hey, I was going to ask you about Santana Lane as well. Just last season, obviously, put in some massive performances and some huge ratings. Seems to have come off that a little bit.
Yeah,
the wares of age, or still capable of that, do you think?
Yeah, had the Hong Kong trip as well, which some people suggest knocks them around a bit. There's a bit of evidence that just that might be true. I think it's just age. You got to remember how good his very best was, say 12 months ago in a TJ. That was right up there with the best we've seen since Black Caviar in terms of ratings.
Just blew them away.
Yeah, and he put in a few runs like that. The straight race at Flemington, the spring before, that was a sensational win as well.
Yeah.
But even a level off that, even 2-3 lengths off that, it makes him competitive in races like these, because it's a good Group 1 field, but it's not. There's no Black Caviar or absolute superstar in the race, so he's still competitive, even though he's not at his absolute top.
Okay, no worries. We'll move on to race 8, which is the hallmark over the 1200. Money looks to have come a little bit here for Deprive at the top of the market for Top Sport, $4.20. Yep. From old mate Kementari at $4.40, Trekking at $6, and Grey Worm at $9, in her time also at $9. So a bit of the Godolphin story at the top.
Yep,
how's it look for you?
I do have the 3 of them up the top. Deprive's pretty backable, I think. I think this is a great race for him. There should be, maybe not breakneck speed, but there's a few want to go forward, so there should be enough speed in numbers to set it up for him. Also coming across from outside him, so there could be, there'll be a 3 wide line at some point that he can get into, or even 2 wide if he's lucky. His Randwick 1200 record is first class, absolutely first class. I think it's 6 out of 7 or something at Randwick overall. So he just loves this track, much better here than most hill. Market hasn't missed him, but I've got him $4, so I'd take $4.20. I've got him nicely clear. I've got Kementari second to, I don't know, he was good enough in the race at Rose Hill. Wasn't breathtaking. I mean, I think you'd have to. I think he was, considering where he is in his career now, he's pretty wound up to go there. I don't know that he's going to have lengths of improvement in him or anything, but we'll see. Trekking, I won this last year, I believe. Yes, he did. with 57, goes up to 60 in the race, but I just think he's gone a little bit too wide and will end up a long way back, which is kind of his pattern, but he's going to want to be good to round them all up with 60 kilos on his back. Grey Worm, best of the on paces for me. What the top sport, $9. That's a bit short, but I think we'll get better, and he might be a saver bet for me.
So just looking at this market, I think 124 at the moment, so there'll be a bit to come.
Yeah, I think we'll get better than $9, and he's probably worth backing at around 11. Beyond that, the Queenslander Deep Image is an interesting horse. It's talented. Might be a bridge too far. They say. Will Remain has got a great overall fresh record, but he might be, and there's nothing wrong with his trial either, but perhaps like you were saying about Sandra and Elaine, just getting a bit long on the tooth now. So it usually is a good race, the Hallmark. It's a good race this year. I'm happy to be with Deprive and likely to save on Grey Worm, I'd say.
Good stuff. So, again, looks like a little bit of value there. And we'll just head to the last of the day, which is a benchmark 100 over the 1400. Faced Oss at $4.80 is the favourite for Top Sport. Godolphin again from Military Zone at $5.50. Dealmaker and Desert Lord at $7.50. Cradle Mountain at $9. Lanciato and Sambro at $9.50. So a few in the market there. What about you?
Yeah, it's a good race. It's a good open race. I think Desert Lord is the overs in the race. I actually have him on top of it. Faistos looks absolutely thrown in. I mean, he's an emergency too, Faistos, we should point out. But assuming he gets a run, he does look thrown in with 53.5. This is probably the strongest race he's been in, and his trials haven't been anything to write home about, in my opinion. So to mark him favourite, I just want him to tick that box at least, having come in with some good trial form behind him, and I'm not sure that he has. I'd much rather go with Desert Lord, who let him out in the Doncaster preview at 1500 last start on the wet track. He'll get a drier surface here and back to 1400, which I think both ticks. He's sort of the foolproof one in the race. He and Cradle Mountain will go up and race on the speed, and Desert Lord at his best certainly has the figures to win this. And if we're going to be getting up around the $8-9 mark, I would be keen to be on. Faistos is his best. I would have on top, but I'm just not sure he is at his best first up, so I don't really want to gamble on him as favourite first up. Cradle Mountain in the race around the right price, I think. Expect Sambro to run well first up as well, drawn beautifully with McDonald on. Dealmaker's drawn for a soft run again. He's a bit of a heartbreak horse, but there's a chance. Military Zone, I thought was the unders. I just don't see what sort of run it's going to get to justify it being second favourite. It's a pretty good horse. It's not far.
It's first up. It's first up as well, I think.
It is first up, and that's the other thing. I couldn't find where he gets to on the map to get any sort of decent run. And in his last two trips, he's taken one run to peak as well. So, given those two factors, certainly couldn't entertain him at his current price. So, given my little knock on him and on Faistos, that sort of leads me back to Desert Lord. No good thing, Desert Lord. He's become a bit of a pest in his last two preps, been beaten favourite a couple of times, but I think he certainly has got a foolproof racing style, put himself right in the race and worked again at the price.
Good stuff. All right. Well, that's 4 of the 9 races, and sounds like there's a bit of value from your point of view, so it should be a good day on the punt. Yeah,
I think so. It's no screaming good thing like Colette last week, but I don't come out often either, to be honest. But, no, there's a couple worth backing, so it should be a good day.
Good stuff. All right, thanks for that, Mark. We'll we look forward to tomorrow seeing your bets and your markets, and then we'll catch up early next week and see how we went.
No problem. Talk to you then.
Cheers.